What day is it? What year is it? I don't know. It's 70 degrees outside. It is February 9th. It's Thursday. I've come to learn. My Lord, this week has passed too quickly, really. I didn't realize it was Thursday until about an hour ago. And then I was like, oh shit. I have to do my live stream. I get to do my live stream. I'm trying to be more positive thinker. I get to do a live stream. But I'm bone tired. I'm exhausted. I'm like burnt out. Not on drawing, not on Shakespeare, not on art. Burnout on being alive, really. She's probably worse than being burnt out on Shakespeare. I'm just really tired. So, let's see. It's 8 o'clock. And I have no idea what I'm going to draw either. And furthermore, the Shakespeare, the MIT Shakespeare website is down. So, I may have to use the app, which I'm always like raving about. Couldn't verify my upgrade. Uh-oh. I have to sign in. I don't need my upgrade right now. I just need this. I rave about this app, and then like I never show it or use it really. And since the MIT Shakespeare is down, I guess I'm gonna use the app. Also, my neck and shoulders are so sore, and I have no explanation or reason for that, other than mid-30s, disabled, I guess. But just ouch in general and sleepy in general. And again, no idea what I'm going to do for this particular card. Also, really quickly, look at my shirt. It's got my name on it. Boop, boop, boop. Count my chins and then look at my shirt. Reese Harp. Ah. I finally changed the name on my TeePublic website. It's now Reese Harp, RISHARP, all one word. Reese Harp. And now I can't change it again because they only let you change it one time. So let's hope I never change my name again. Anyway, so if you want to buy some cool shit from me, with my art on it, I mean, you can go there to teepublic.com. I think maybe just / Reese Harp. And you can buy my things. Any road, drawing. What am I drawing today? Henry IV, Part 1 is what I'm drawing today. Which I have acted in now twice. The first time I played Worcester Worcester, and the second time I played Hotspur. I would love someday to play Hal, but I don't think that's in the cards for me. I'm not gonna like rule it out, but I don't think it's ever gonna happen. But it is a dream roll. I have some strong thoughts and opinions about this play. Mostly opinions. It is a very good play. I'm not very hesitant to say, despite the amount of like stuttering and stammering I just did, I'm not hesitant to say that it is one of my favorites. I think because it's an interesting dynamic. I feel like the whole play is more about father-son relationships than any kind of actual history. With Henry, or Hal, the young prince who has gone off to like screw around with this guy Falstaff, this like old dude, former knight, I guess. I think he's still a knight, but he's old, he's decrepit, he's falling apart, he's like me, but bigger. And the prince is hanging out with this guy in bawdy houses. And meanwhile, his dad is kind of ashamed of him and kind of wishing that he could be more like his enemy. Like, his enemy is this young guy historically who wasn't young by any means. And also historically, he ran into battle and was just immediately slaughtered, which in the play is not how it happens. But King Henry IV is like wishing that his son could be more like this other warrior youth, because his son is being a bit of a cock up. So, anyway, I feel like this play, when I read it, it feels more like father and son relationships rather than history. With that said, I don't know necessarily what I want to draw or even what text or lines sticks out most to me. Other than, I wish the MIT hadn't fucked up. Because I want to search. There are a couple speeches in there, but it's down. I'm just gonna find a different one. Fuck you, MIT. Maybe Folger has the whole play online that I can search by scenes. I don't even know what scene it is the problem. Open source Shakespeare. Again, by scenes. Complete text. Open source Shakespeare. Coming in hot. Okay. So one of the things that really stood out is Falstaff has a speech about honor, which, I mean, here's what I'll do. I'll talk about it really quick and then I'll read it. Falstaff has a speech about honor, and this whole play in addition to it being about, in my mind, in addition to it being about the father-son dynamic and how sons disappoint their fathers and how fathers disappoint their sons, it all kind of ties back to this idea of honor. If Hal was acting more honorably, he would be more acceptable to his father, this kind of thing. So in the midst of battle, or not in the midst, I guess, like right before the battle, Hal says to his buddy Falstaff, like, you better come fight. Like, I'm going to war. I'll see you there. And Falstaff says the following to Hal, saying, "Why, thou owest God a death. 'Tis not due yet, and I would be loath to pay him before his day. What need I be so forward with him that calls not on me? Well, 'tis no matter. Honor pricks me on. Yea, but how if honor prick me off when I come on? How then? Can honor set to a leg? No. Or an arm? No. Or take away the grief of a wound? No. Honor hath no skill in surgery then? No. What is honor? A word. What is in that word, honor? What is that honor? Air. A trim reckoning. Who hath it? He that died a Wednesday? Doth he feel it? No. Doth he hear it? No. 'Tis insensible then, yea, to the dead. But will it not live with the living? No. Why? Detraction will not suffer it. Therefore I'll none of it. Honor is a mere scutcheon. And so ends my catechism." So basically, honor's bullshit, and we do what we gotta do to get by. Not everything needs to have an honorable meaning or choice behind it. Like, sometimes literally you just got to survive. And we have this idea of honor that like makes us feel guilty for looking out for ourselves. And in this character, Falstaff, he's an old guy, and he's not survived that long, you know, probably by being honorable. You know, he cheats, he steals, he lies, but he's still alive until he like dies of syphilis 2 plays from now. But for now, you know, he's doing okay for himself because he's not worried about taking care of other people for the sake of honor. He's worried about getting himself right, basically taking care of himself. Let's see. One of the other ones that, gosh, I wish I could find it. I should have done a little bit more research right before I came on, but like literally, I didn't know today was Wednesday. I'm in such a brain fog. I don't even know what is happening. There's a line somewhere in here. I mean, I know it's like really riveting, like gripping content to watch me like just scrolling through what do you call it? a play and trying to find the line that I'm looking for. Research doll. Yes, research, to search again, which, oh God, I found it. Okay. All right. So Henry IV, that's the king at the time. He's talking to the Earl of Westmoreland. Westmoreland. You know how we say these things. He's talking to Earl Wessie. He's saying, of prisoners, Hotspur took Mordache, Earl of Fife, and eldest son to Beaton Douglas, and the Earl of Athol, of Murray, Angus, and Menteith. And is not this an honorable spoil, a gallant prize? Huh, cousin, is it not? He's talking about his enemy took all of these prisoners, like these high-value targets that this enemy of his took. And Westmoreland says, in faith, it is a conquest for a prince to boast of. Bear in mind, this enemy of his is not a prince. So Westmoreland is making a statement about the prince should be doing what Hotspur is out here doing. And to which Henry IV replies, yea, there thou'st make me sad, and makest me sin in envy that my Lord Northumberland should be the father to so blessed a son who is the theme of honor's tongue, amongst a grove the very straightest plank, who is sweet fortune's minion and her pride, whilst I, by looking on the praise of him, see riot and dishonor stain the brow of my young Harry. Oh, that it could be proved that some night-tripping fairy had exchanged in cradle clothes our children where they lay, and called mine Percy his Plantagenet. Then would I have his Harry and he mine. So, basically, look at all these people that, like, this other young guy took in battle. Not enemies yet. Right now they're allies. They won't be enemies, spoiler, until later in the play. But right now they are talking about like all the people that Harry, aka Hotspur, took in battle. And then Hal's dad is like, I really wish that my kid was a changeling and that fairies had swapped him out and like exchanged our children, and maybe Hotspur is my actual son, and this guy who's out carousing with Falstaff and like talking with hoes all night is the other guy's kid. And man, that would just be great. That would explain everything. So, and this is in Act 1, Scene 1, where they set up that Henry IV, the king, is quite upset that his son is not doing the princely things that this other guy's son is doing. So that's the other thing that really stands out to me. And then there is a speech that Hal does after we start to get to see him hanging out with Falstaff, and he's like, we're kind of getting the idea that he's an unsavory fellow hanging out with other unsavory folks. Everyone else leaves. He has this soliloquy that he delivers to the audience, and this speech is why I want to do the role. Just for this speech, really. And it goes thusly. I know you all, and will a while uphold the unyoked humor of your idleness. Yet herein will I imitate the sun, who doth permit the base contagious clouds to smother up his beauty from the world. that when he please again to be himself, being wanted, he may be more wondered at by breaking through the foul and ugly mists of vapors that did seem to strangle him. If all the year were playing holidays, to sport would be as tedious as to work. But when they seldom come, they wished for come, and nothing pleaseth but rare accidents. So, when this loose behavior I throw off, and pay the debt I never promised, by how much better than my word I am, by so much shall I falsify men's hopes. And like bright metal on a sullen ground, my reformation glittering o'er my fault, shall show more goodly and attract more eyes than that which hath no foil to set it off. I'll so offend to make offense a skill, redeeming time when men think least I will. So this is where Hal comes out and says, like, yeah, I'm carousing with all these people, but I'm just doing it so that I look. It's a PR stunt. He says he's doing this as a PR stunt. Like literally, I'm hanging out with these lowlifes right now, but later on you'll see I'm gonna. Well, spoiler alert, he does not treat Falstaff well in the end. He does exactly what he says he's gonna do. So he's just hanging out with these people right now so that when he does have to be kingly again, it'll look so much better because they'll think that he's reformed himself. They'll think that he used to be here and now he's this brilliant king. He's literally just doing a PR stunt. I don't think that it's literally, like, it's just that. But I feel like part of him had this thought that, like, wouldn't it be kind of funny if I did this? And then, like, he did it. So, I've got this theme, all of these, and maybe this is again about honor. He says like he's gonna like throw off this behavior. Why is he gonna do that? To like bring honor to the family? Maybe. I don't know. It could be honor. I didn't write it, so I don't know. But it's possible. And then the dad, Henry IV, is like, man, if my kid would just honor me in the way that this other kid honors his dad, maybe I'd be happy. And then Falstaff is over here like, honor is a lie. We made that up to like control people. So, what do I draw? What's the card? What's the card here tonight? I think of all of the honor that we're talking about, I do really like Falstaff's hot take that honor doesn't actually exist. And we've made it up just so that we can like make ourselves feel better about the things that we're doing or make other people feel worse about the things that they're not doing. So I think I might go with that. 'Tis no matter, honor pricks me on. Honor is dead, but I'll see what I can do. Ugh. Kaladin would disagree. Well, you know, I think certain Kaladins would disagree. Certain versions of him would disagree. I really hope he does come to the conclusion at the end that, like, to a similar conclusion that Falstaff came to, is that honor is just someone's name. It doesn't actually mean anything unless you give it meaning. Which is all words, really. No words have meaning until we give them meaning. They're all arbitrary symbols of an idea. Why would honor be any different? It's air. On air. Right. But what is this? Syl would definitely disagree. Can you imagine? For those who don't read the same books that I read or that the people in the chat read, the book we're talking about is, what's the series called? I can never think of what the series is called. But the first book is The Way of Kings. And it's by Brandon Sanderson. And there's a lot of honor we're talking about here. And Syl, this character Syl, is like a literal manifestation of honor. So we all know. Yeah, of course you do, Evan. You know everything. Oh my God, Evan. Stormlight Archive. Thank you. I can never remember. I always want to try it I always want to call it King Killer Chronicles because kings die and get killed in Sanderson's series, and then in the actual King Killer Chronicles, no kings ever die. So I get them quite confused. Stormlight Archives. Brandon Sanderson. Read them. They're freaking brilliant. Absolutely freaking brilliant. Maybe that'll be my next Oracle deck. Maybe I'll do a Stormlight Oracle deck. That'll be fun. Except there's probably 97 other people in line to do just that. So maybe I'll leave it to the professionals. Honor. Look, Evan and Doll are having a reunition in the chat. I love it. Old friends. Honor, I feel like we're supposed to think of some kind of battle kind of situation for honor. So I feel like I really should do it. Maybe I'll reach out, because there's a huge community of artists around Brandon Sanderson's works. So I bet I could reach out to some people and get some people on board about a Oracle deck. But yeah, so I think when I think of honor, I always think of battle. Oh my God, have you not seen each other since Dragon Con? That's so long ago. When was that? It's I don't even know when that was. It was a long time ago. Ugh, old friends dance. I love it. But yeah, I think of battle because what are you supposed to think of? But I think what I also want to, again, okay, so just like when I was doing Much Ado About Nothing, it was the societal pressure to be what society tells you to be. I would love to also incorporate that kind of idea into this card, where it's honor, but take for instance, honor thy mother and father. It's something that a lot of people who've grown up with Christian heritage have internalized and learned, even though their mothers and fathers suck and don't honor them. So why should you honor your parents? But they still try to do what's right by their parents because that's what's been ingrained, not what the actual honor is or how to do it or why, but just because it's what's expected. Like, some people don't deserve honor. Some people are dishonorable people and don't deserve to be honored. Not saying that this particular play has that in it. You could read it as that. There are places in this play where you could come to that conclusion. But I mean, it's an oracle deck, right? So I want to have that kind of idea, leave that idea open to people, where it's not like, I don't want this card to be be honorable. I want this card to be more like you have a choice to do what honors yourself or maybe what honors other people. Okay. So anyway, I think of blades for that. And actually, maybe 2 blades. Look at this beautiful sketch. You know, you're never going to see sketches this good again in your life. But I'm thinking maybe 2 blades, where one of them maybe is broken. We got a broken blade over here. Okay. I think I'm onto something. I like the idea also of blood dripping, but we just did blood dripping in the last one. I'm not going to do that. I think I'm going to keep it blue, kind of like the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb, so maybe the drips can be blue. Because also that's the color that I've picked for histories. So maybe some blue drips. Cool. So from this beautiful sketch, I'm going to turn that opacity way down and make a new layer. I'm going to just delete this layer because that one was stupid. And I'm going to use my technology and use my resources. I will do my drawing guide, but I'm going to edit it. I'm going to do the symmetrical drawing guide. And then in this layer, it says it's assisted. So that's going to let me draw on one side and it shows up on the other side. So I'm going to draw my little pommel. That was not what I want. I want like a single circle. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, kind of looks like almost like a circle. Get your head out of the gutter, people. There we go. That's much better. Right. And then I'm going to put the little handle in here. I think we're just going to do a small little dagger. Actually, those are both too big. I've determined it needs to be much smaller. Be smaller. That'll do. Yeah. And then I get a nice like diagonal, but not like too crazy. Just a little one-handed dagger. That's what I'm after. And then I'll do my little cross guard. And then the blade. And some will say I'm cheating by using the symmetrical thing. I don't care. Fuck those people. Right. So here's dagger number 1. Now, I don't think I want both daggers to be identical, so I'm going to do another one kind of vaguely following the same thing. But if they were identical, I feel like we'd be saying something that I don't necessarily want to say. I want to make it clear that everyone's version of honor is different. And yeah, so I want a different dagger. I want I want diverse daggers. So I'm going to turn on drawing assist for this one too. And kind of do the same thing. I'm going to give this one maybe a square pommel. I'll give it the same hilt here. I don't want it to be like down though. I'll give it a straight across. And I will give it the same blade. Right. So now I have 2 separate daggers, and with each, actually I'm going to duplicate each of them, and then I'm gonna let them hang out together and hide them just in case I don't like what I'm about to do. So I'm gonna ensmallen them. That's what I'm gonna do, so that they can go diagonally on the card. Como eso. And I'm going to do the same to this one. Rotate and smallen, and biggen again. I like this better, to have them just have more space like this. Didn't like that. I'll try again. You started a joke about woke daggers. I need to know it. What is a woke dagger? What is a woke dagger? Is that super heavy? I feel like it's super heavy. It's generally the same size. I might change. You might cry if you did. Also, I just saw the comment about it's like the blood and maxi pad commercials, and it took my breath away. Because it's blue. That's hilarious. Because we can't have blood. We can have blood all over TV in our cop dramas. We can't show people a ruby hilted oh, that would be fun. Ruby hilted dagger. Maybe we'll do that. Because I don't like this square one at all. I hate it. In fact, I think I'm gonna delete it. And I think I'm just gonna duplicate this one. I don't want to. But maybe the way I color them can be different. I don't know. The square just was too heavy. It wasn't working. And what I want is 2 different daggers, but maybe I can't have that just for the sake of like symmetry. Or maybe maybe it looks kind of like scissors. I'm not into it. I think it does need to be parallel, maybe. I'm gonna move them. I'm gonna move this one over. And then this one, I'm gonna flip, and I'm gonna move that one over to maybe. Bear in mind, one of these is going to be broken. No, I like them crossed, but also the crossing kind of doesn't super work. But maybe this is just like, you know, you have to get through the ugly stage before you get to the stage that you actually like something. Okay, so if they were centered and perfectly symmetrical, they would look like, what the fuck is that? So I don't know that I want that. So maybe we gotta offset them a bit. Maybe. Or maybe this just isn't gonna work and I'm gonna have to try something else. I don't know. This is like the worst part, TBH. What's broken here? Well, you've been at the ugly stage for 46 years. Oh man, it's relatable. Oh, it's hard relatable. Oh my god. Also, I doubt it. I really doubt it. But, oh, it's relatable content right there. All right, you know what? I have to commit. I have to commit to a thing. Otherwise, I'm going to be sitting here fiddling around with these daggers all night. It's already 9 o'clock. So I'm just going to commit to them being traditionally crossed in an X format. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to like, oh no, that was wrong. That was ugly. I'm going to do it this way. Done. I just want to... I'm going to make them longer. I'm going to give them some Viagra. Just get them longer. That's not what Viagra does, but, you know. Is it? I don't know. I don't have a dick. Anyway. Longer daggers, I think, is what we're going to go for. So I'm just going to like actually turn all these layers off, except for this one. Turn on, you dumb hoe. Thank you. I'm going to make it thinner. I'm going to rotate it, and I'm going to make it longer. That's what I'm going to do. We've got some first siblings in here. I love it. Where's my first siblings? They don't pay any attention to me. Mine don't. It's fine. I don't need them. Okay. Longer daggers. Longer and thinner. That was the key. Done. Okay. They're a little wonkified now. So, and I'm going to delete all of these extra daggers. And I am going to merge those two down. And I'm going to put them on lighter, thinner, lower opacity. That's too low. I need less. I need more opacity. Can't see. Okay, new layer. And I'm going to start sketching in... I have two Aes Sedai, and one of them's in the chat, and I love them. Okay. Stop. Be normal. God, Reese, be normal. Okay. Nice. Perfect circle. And I'm going to duplicate it. And I'm going to move it over here. So now I got two nice perfect circles. And then I want to merge it down. And now I'm going to keep drawing. Okay. And as per the usual, I'm using just the 6B pencil. It is my favorite pencil on this app. And also, as per usual, I am not so hung up on like super clean lines because I'm going to, I mean, it's all going to be black and white in the end with little bits of blue. So in the end, it's gonna be very shaded and dark. So like the sketchiness of it, the look of it being kind of sketched, I like it and I want it. So I'm not trying to go really slow to like really stay in the lines here. Staying in the lines is for children. I'm an adult. There's one. And two. Which one should be broken? I don't know. I don't know which one I should break. Maybe neither of them are broken. Maybe they're both broken. Because there's no such thing as like a whole person. I kind of love how these concepts kind of come together as I'm drawing. I have no idea what I'm going to do any particular day. But yes, be a rebel and color outside the lines. That's what it's all about. I don't know why, like, when I was a youth many years ago, like, I would like get into arguments with the other kids about like, I color inside the lines better than you color inside the lines. I'm better at coloring than you because I stay inside the lines. What was wrong with us? Now I'm like in corporate America going like, fuck these lines. This is terrible. Get me outside. Anyway. I will never color inside the lines ever again. I'm like just against it now. All right, so one of these has to be on top. Somebody's got to be on top. So I'm just going to pick one and erase the lines and let it be on top. Now we have a hierarchy. Now we have a top and a bottom. How do I want to break them? I think definitely like shards of narsil on one of them. I think it'll be actually, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. This is like my favorite thing to do midstream is look for reference pictures. I'm going to look for broken swords. I feel like I'm going to get stuff that I'm not interested in looking at. But straight up shards of narsil is one of the first things that comes up. Man, the internet is a bunch of nerds. Yeah, okay. So it's literally just a break. It's fine. But it might also be fun to give it some cracks along the way. And then I'm gonna just get rid of this point. Don't need it because it fell off. Cool. Cool. And now I gotta break the other one. I think I would love to break it at the hilt. Because to be a sword, you need balance. You need the blade. It's not just the blade. Like, I mean, you can hurt someone with a blade, right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A lot of Lord of the Rings images when you search for that. But it's not just a blade that you need. You need the hilt. If the hilt isn't there, you can't hold on to it safely. So I think one is broken blade and the other just maybe is some kind of hilt is broken. Maybe this is chopped off or How do you just break this? I mean, if I was looking at my own sword, it would be like there's a little thing with threads here for like the ball to screw on. Maybe that's good enough. You get no counterweight. And actually, let's screw this hilt up a little bit too. Let's maybe get rid of the whole hilt. See what happens. I'm gonna do another quick Google search. Real quick. Okay, that's what I thought. So we want like so, and like that. So like the hilt is just completely gone. Okay, so I don't know. It's fine. It's all right. I feel like this is a little too modern looking. Maybe I should like here a little bit. Okay, now we have to like convince people that it's a sword and not, or like a dagger and not something else. So I'm gonna give it a little halfway mark here. And give it an edge. Okay. I'm almost convinced. I'm almost convinced. I kind of don't like this though. This is like kind of silly down here. So I'm going to get rid of that. I don't know. Maybe it requires specialist knowledge, and maybe it works. I'm not sure. I don't know if it looks broken or unfinished. Definitely looks unfinished. How now, Hal? What time of the day is it, lad? Please hold. Thou art so fat-witted with drinking of old sack and unbuttoning thee after supper and sleeping upon benches after noon that thou hast forgotten to demand that truly which thou wouldst truly know. What a devil hast thou to do with the time of day, unless hours were cups of sack, and minutes capons, and clocks the tongues of bawds, and dials the signs of leaping houses, and the blessed sun himself, a fair hot wench, in flame-colored taffeta, I see no reason why thou shouldst be so superfluous to demand the time of day. It's 9 o'clock, Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so I don't know if it's broken or if it's just unfinished, but if we're thinking metaphorically, broken, unfinished, no human is ever finished, no human is ever broken. I think it works. I'm going to bless it officially and say it works. So I'm going to get rid of the blue undercarriage here. Erase this a little more effectively. Indeed, I come near you now. I come near a lot of people. I'm on a list now. I'm not on any lists. Someone's hit list, probably. But that's awfully presumptuous to assume that I'm on someone's hit list, actually. I assume no one actually cares about me enough to want me dead, so... Probably, maybe a bad assumption. I don't know. It's the assumption I've made. Okay, so here we are. The 2 daggers of honor. And if you're just joining, we're doing Henry IV Part 1. And we are making an oracle card with this idea that honor is bull. And it's just a word, and everyone has their own idea of what honor is or isn't and what it should be, and whether it even exists at all or whether it's something that was created, like gender, to put other people in their places. I don't know. Okay, so here's our main drawing. Okay, I'm not a musical theater person, but I just triggered a Rent song in your head. I know probably 4 words from Rent. That's it. I've seen it, but I don't think I watched it with captions, so I don't actually know what I watched. And I'm definitely not a musical theater person. I don't know what's going on in any theater, let alone musical theater. I'm like more versed in a surgical theater probably than I am in a musical one. But anyway, here we go. I want maybe each tip to have a little bit of water. Maybe they're both sat in a puddle. And actually, I think it's a bit large. I'm gonna shrink the whole thing down a little bit. Better. Okay. And yeah. First thing, I like to add background lately. That's my jam lately. Oh, what was the one I used on the last one? Was it a texture? It wasn't a texture. Was it an organic? It was not an organic. A pocket? There's too many brushes in this app, and I can't keep track of which ones are my favorites anymore. And I even have a faves one, and there's just too many now. Is it drawing? What was the one that I used? Elements. Charcoals. Maybe it was this. It might have been this one. It was not this one. Again, more riveting content of me just fucking failing. Certainly wasn't the artist crayon. Although the artist crayon is fun. Maybe we'll try it. I don't like it. Too patterned. Let's do soft pastel, like we always do, I suppose. Who's messaging me? And I thought I turned on Do Not Disturb. Who does this? I don't know what it was. Anyway, background. All right. First line of Rent, December 25th, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 24th. That's the first line of Rent. Doll, it's really good to know that you'd rather watch me kind of like soliloquize than do like actual work. It does make me feel good. Okay. I like the darkness. I like for it to set in appropriately. Gonna create a new layer, and I'm gonna set this one down a little bit just so I can focus on making these a little nicer, I guess. But here we go. So I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use the shading graphite again. I'm not sure if I really like this brush or not, to be honest. I'm actually going to hide this layer while I'm shading. Because, like, there's some, like, it's almost too soft of a brush on the edges. And so I can't really get, like, really close to this edge without going over the edge a little bit, without coloring outside the line, which I said I would never do not 10 minutes ago. JK. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with it just because I think it's easier to kind of get that like finger shaded look with this than it is with the HB pencil, which is good for sketching lines, but for shading I like it a lot less. So yeah, I'm gonna go pretty dark around the edge of whatever this pommel is, and then let it go kind of lighter in the middle. It's a little too harsh. So I'm going to erase a little bit. It's better. But I'm also going to erase around the outside too. Because, well, as previously mentioned, I do like to go outside the lines. I want it to be very obviously a hard item. That would mean I don't want a soft edge to this. I want a very hard edge to it. Hard edges, man. Hard edges. Oh my god, it's so boring. Erasing. Beep, 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 beep. Right. There we go. We got a ball. We got a ball, people. We got a ball. Oh, so you're like, there's a process happening on your computer, and you're just letting it go. Yeah, I'd rather watch Me Too, to be honest. I'd rather watch TikTok, though, and that's, you know, I'd rather watch anything than a process happening. Right. I want to add some texture to this hilt. So rather than just shading it to where it kind of looks cylindrical, I want to kind of give it a braid, I think. So back to my 6B pencil. Now it's braided. Yeah. I give it a little. No, what am I doing? There we go. So the pencil is good for, yeah, keep trying not to reload TikTok. I get stuck in those loops all the time where I'm like my eyes actually hurt. My whole body hurts from like sitting like this. And then I'm like, get the fuck off your phone, you dumb bitch. Like, you're physically in pain. Go, like, lay down on the floor and, like, chew on an apple or like close your eyes. But no, I'm like, open Facebook, open TikTok, open Instagram, open Facebook, open TikTok, open Instagram. It's the worst. I hate being alive in this time period of just like everything is like so fucking digital. And here I am making digital art. Like I should find a hobby where I'm not staring at a freaking screen even in my free time. I stare at a screen all day at work. I don't need to stare at more screens. But I guess whatever, here we are. Like, I don't even like dopamine. I don't even like it. Whatever. What can you do? I'm just an old fuddy-duddy. These damn kids with their iPhones. Yeah, me. It's me. I'm a damn kid with my iPhone. Look at that. Beautiful braid. Beautiful braid. Alright. I'm going to smear it around now. Yeah, shading graphite will do. I think. Let's see. Obviously, I gotta go smaller. It'll do. It'll do. I wonder what using the HB pencil as a shading brush would do. I feel like it would just be really tedious, and I would hate my life if I did it. So I'm not gonna do it yet. I'll do that when I'm really desperate for something to make me angry. Which isn't very often. Most things make me angry pretty easily. So I'm very rarely desperate to be angry. It's kind of just my natural state. My kitten is killing a spider behind me. It's real cute. I just need you all to know that. There are spiders, plastic ones, being murdered right behind me. I searched for a long time for a spider to put in this tree house, in that tree right there. I built a tree house in there, and I thought it would be really cool to make it a spider's tree house. So I searched, and this was it was in the summertime, like July or August. And I searched high and low for little plastic spiders to live in that treehouse. And then in October, I finally found little plastic spiders to live in the treehouse. But they came in a packet of like 100 little plastic spiders. And I'm like, I need 1, maybe 2 plastic spiders tops. The What am I gonna do with all these damn spiders on this damn treehouse? And so I just keep giving them to my cat as little chew toys. It's pretty cute. All right, I want to add some more texture back in because I like the smoothness, but it's a little too silky. So I want to add just some more dimension and some more texture back in, especially since like I want it to still look kind of rounded. And right now it's looking pretty flat. Pretty flat. So I'm gonna add a bit of texture. Like so. That's maybe too much texture. Like, you know, I'm really tired when I start doing random accents. That's like the telltale sign of my tiredness. Like, I went to JordanCon last year and ended up using like an Australian accent an entire day just because I was so tired. And people were like, "Where are you from?" And I'm like, "North Carolina." They're like, "What? You sound like you're from Perth." And I'm like, I hadn't thought it through that well, to be honest. I'm just doing a weird voice because I'm sleepy. But that's what I do. I get tired or I get drunk, sometimes both, and I do funny accents. Not funny accents, just accents that aren't my own. They're funny to someone, I suppose. Like, I bet there's still a couple authors, because I was using this Australian accent with a bunch of the, like, author guests. This was, like, at Writers at the Bar time, or whatever they call it. I bet there's a bunch of authors out there that still aren't sure about my nationality. I'm an enigma. Enigma. Alright, I'm spending a lot of time on this hilt. Don't know if I need to be spending this amount of time on there. But that's what I'm doing. I'm intrigued. What is a rage room? Also, I noticed that you posted this comment about their opening a rage room in Frederick, and I read it 4 times minimum as range room, like shooting range or like archery range, like a range. And I thought, why are you talking, what is this about? Why are you talking about ranges? Why is it only a room? And so I decided it's best to just ignore the comment. But now I've looked at it a 5th or 6th time and I see there is no N in the word, and it is a rage room. And I would very much like to know what a rage room is. Can you assist? Oh my God, my neck is so sore. A room full of breakable stuff. Is it like, oh my God, infinitely breakable? How do you pay? Because you have to pay for it, right? How do you pay? Like, buy the dinner plate by the hour? What if you break everything in the hour and you need more dinner plates. How does it work? You get a baseball bat and goggles and you pay by the hour. What happens if you break the baseball bat? Honest questions. That ball is way too big. Looking at this from a distance, I'm gonna shrink this down a little bit. That's more reasonable. That ball was huge. No one was gonna say anything. They were just gonna like let me have just an enormous ball. Fine. That's much more acceptable. Also, what's going on here? Did I mess up? I messed up somewhere. There's like a whole, like, look at this whole background color for some reason. Which is fine, because there's going to be a background color in it anyway. Later, there will be. Right now, it's going to really annoy me if I don't get rid of that. Okay. That's a much more reasonable ball. All right, let's continue. So I want to have this again. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to cheat again. No. Actually, it kind of works the way I did it. So I didn't even need to cheat. So I'm going to move this layer back down. And I'm going to flatten it down here. And no, I'm going to undo that. First, I'm going to erase the bit that shows up underneath. And then I'm going to flatten it down. Bam. All right. Let's do these blades. I want the blades because they're supposed to be very shiny and very smooth. I'm going to, I think, heavily use the blending tool. And I'm going to shade, I think, with the pencil on this so that it's a heavier, like, crisper line. And this is a little like crevasse. So I'm going to make it pretty dark in there. And then I think I'll blend it out. Blend it. Just blend it out. Just blend it out. And again. Oh, crikey. I feel like that's too dark. So I'm just gonna do some extra blendage. Try to move some of that darkness out of there so that it's just a little bit dark. It's not like a hole in the whole thing, you know, just a little dip. I wish I had some reference pictures. Probably could just Google them. But I don't know. Kind of feeling lazy right now. Kind of feeling like just do whatever you want. You know? Like correctness, lighting, and like technical drawing, who's that for? It's just like honor. It's like a thing that doesn't actually exist. Just do whatever the heck you want. That's how I'm feeling right now about making this look realistic. You ever doing something and you have you remember a dream that you had months and months ago that you didn't remember that you had? And like suddenly you remember this dream? Like normally if you have a dream, you wake up and you're like, oh, I had a dream. I literally just remembered one that when I woke up, I don't think I remembered it. But I just remembered it just now. And this was months ago. Minimum months. Up to a year ago. Brains, man. Brains are wild. I don't get it. I don't understand the brains. And I've done all this on the wrong layer. I don't care. Whatever. Moving on. Continue. Actually, I'm going to try smudging with the pencil. Maybe that will be, yeah. I do like the sharpness that you get by smudging with the pencil as opposed to the graphite shader. And I have to remind myself that I'm going to be adding white in here. Going to have white highlights. So the shading doesn't have to be exact at the moment. It doesn't have to be like a perfect shaded moment. Because I'm going to put some white in a little bit. In fact, I might put the white in now just to kind of, I don't know, kind of get a feel for what it's going to look like in the end. So I'm going to put in my white highlight. And run it a little bit down here. And I'm going to smudge it out. And I'm going to erase that. That looks not terrible. I think I do want to, rather than having a black line here in the middle, I want to have it be a white highlight mostly. Let's see how that looks and feels. I think I like that better than having a black line there. Right. Let's keep going. Keep shading in this silhouette. I'm doing the bottom one first so that I can do the top one next. If I want to do it on a different layer, maybe I will. But since I've already messed up and done everything on one layer anyway, whatever, I'm just going to keep it on one layer. But like rather than having to worry about erasing because I'm going to have to go back and do something underneath, I'll just do the underneath first. And then as I'm shading over this one, it'll just automatically be taken care of. I feel like that's just a general kind of painting rule to start with your behind layers first, generally. I don't know, because I'm not a real painter. I'm just a material girl. I don't know what I am. I do know what I want here, though. I want this sharp edge to be very sharp and jagged. So I'm gonna kind of shade this out even beyond the edge. And then I'm going to go back through and destroy it. Like this. That's a soft brush. I don't want a soft brush. I want a harder brush. And just to keep this edge tightened up, I'm going to erase outside the line where I went outside the line. I know I'm supposed to color outside the line, but it's my art and I'll do what I want. And right now I don't want to be outside the line. Okay. What I am going to want later is some shadow in here and here. But for now, I'm just going to do this blade on top and kind of get the overall look of it before I add any extra shadow details to it. So this part first. That's the eraser. I don't want the eraser. I want the pencil. I think I'm going to treat the little divot on this one the same way, rather than having the black lines on this V here. And I'm going to turn those white in the end. So I like the effect of the other, how it's shiny as shit. And again, I don't really care too much about whether it looks like super sketchy or not, because I'm just gonna smudge it. So I'm just trying to lay down some color to smudge to the appropriate darkness gradient, I guess. And it's not a super big deal if I overdo it also, because I can again erase, which is a benefit of digital, and also I can add white in on top to make that aspect of it really pop out. Which I think I will do again, instead of having this black line in the middle here. I think I'm gonna try putting some white on there, see what happens. Because if we can shade from dark black on the edges to a bright white in the middle, I think that would be pretty cool. It would definitely show the depth of, or the dimension, maybe not the depth, but it would show the dimension of the sword, or the blade, I guess. And I am going to go over in a little bit with a bit wider brush in some of these areas, like this, where you can see that it's just really sloppy and like barely good looking at all. So I'm going to go back through in a little bit and smooth out those areas. But right now it's looking very, very stiletto, I guess. And I want it to still read as flat. So eraser to the rescue. Eraser and white. Because, like, bear in mind, I have to add the white in still. I don't know why I'm still getting messages. I said do not disturb on my phone, but I'm still getting messagios. Messagio. Right. I'm gonna do some white. Throw some white down in the mid here. Give it a smooge. Give it a smooge. If you cross your eyes, it looks better. Fun fact. It's like true of anything, really. Or beer goggles. It's a real thing. The less critically you're looking at a thing, just the better it is. Still looks fairly stiletto-y. But do I care that much? No. Not really. Let's do something with this cross guard though. Leaning toward not putting a lot of detail into it and just kind of letting it be just kind of a flat black. There's already so much dimension everywhere else. Just kind of letting this be sketched and colored in sounds like fun to me. So, yeah, just kind of letting it be just like filled in like pencil is where I'm at right now. Like so. I'm gonna erase this little bitch there, and that little bitch, and this little bitch. Gotta erase a couple little bitches, but there we go. Okay. This needs a touch up as well. Actually, since everything else is like that, has that really dark edge, this also needs to have a dark edge. Otherwise, it kind of looks out of place. So I'm gonna darken up this outline a bit. And I don't think I added any white to this either. So in addition to darkening up the edge with the black pencil, I'm also going to add some white highlight to the middle. I don't think a lot. But just a little smidge of white in the middle. Like that. Bam. Now it has more dimension. It's like 8 dimensions now. Right. This piece here, I want to just be just really flat, honestly. So I'm just gonna kind of do all black and then throw some white in the middle, just so that it's kind of a overall kind of gray, and then I'll smudge it out. Like that. And then I'm gonna delete some of this extra on the side again, because coloring outside the lines is a sin. So I'm gonna minimize my sins over here. And I'm gonna minimize my sins. That's a big sin. That's a really bad one. And I'm gonna minimize over here too. And all of this, and I'm just gonna smudge this out some more because that's just too dark. No one needs to know. No one needs to know. But this piece here is pretty ugly, so I am going to clean that up get rid of that. And I'm gonna clean up these bottom edges a bit because we don't need the black line there. And we don't need all of this kind of sketchy stuff. Okay, so here we have 2 daggers. I'm going to create a new layer, and I'm just going to merge this down on top of it because I messed up so long ago. I might as well just have the whole thing in one big mess up. Right. I'm adding in the blue. Where's my rainbow blue? That's a bright blue. Blue bloods. I am in the right layer, right? I just had to check because last time I tried to do a new layer and I messed up, so I just wanted to double check. What I would like to do is change the drawing guide. I don't need symmetrical anymore. I just want to have the parallel lines so I can see which way is up and down, so that I can like make sure that gravity is working correctly. I just had a thought. What if the water is like flowing all the way down like this? Like, you know how when you're trying to pour coffee and it just slides down the coffee pot instead of going into your cup? That's what I'm thinking about right now. Would it be better if this one had the blue all the way down the whole length? Let's try both. Why not? YOLO. Wonder what, because water, I want to show that it's water. But water is so thin and doesn't like pull up on something. It just kind of slides down really casually. So I'm looking for reference images of water sliding down the side of a glass. But then also, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Right? It's an illustration. But I think I want thin lines like this rather than the thicker like here. I don't think I like the thickness of this one. I'm gonna keep it really, I'm gonna keep it thin lines. Wonder if I should bring this all the way down. It's a little extra, right? I'm not into it. Kind of looks like string. I don't love it. Let's not try to get too technical, or it'll be the death of me. Because it's 10 o'clock and I want to lay in bed and stretch out my bones. My freaking bones. More white. That's the idea, right? I don't like the execution, but I like the idea. But also, why does there need to be a puddle? There doesn't. It's just water. Just a couple drops of water. No puddle needed. I feel like I get hung up on that a lot. And it's not necessary. I'm gonna erase some of this extra crap. Because I don't know if I even want all this down here. Don't know if I want it. And I definitely don't want all this up here. Or this. Or that. What else do I not want? I erase all this too. And I'm gonna put this back in because I want to see how it's looking with the dark parts of it. And this I've determined is too much darkness. So I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna try a different pattern for the kind of vignette style. I think I like that. eraser. Crap, it's time to do my Duolingo. You know, maybe this one doesn't have a background. They don't all need a background. I really don't like the way this one looks with the background. So maybe I won't do one. And I'm not sold about the blue either. There does need to be a blue component. But I'm not sold about it existing in this way. This is fine. This is fine. I'm okay with this. Yeah, I'm okay with this. Here we go. I am gonna have to make sure that I add like enough white to it so that it's definitely like quite shiny. And usually I do the color as like a glowing feature. I don't know. I mean, I guess I could do that still. Why not? So if this is glowing water, where does it reflect? I'm going to add some shadows. I'm going to use the shading graphite for the shadows because I don't need them to be so much like nice and good. I need them to just be shadows. So I'm just add in some shadows, like so. Start with the big brush, and then I'm gonna use use the shading graphite again. Smudge it out. Same over here. Smudge it out. So now it kind of looks like the one sword is on top of the other. Kind of. Sort of. All right, I'm gonna add, like, if, hello, Fen, if this blue liquid were to be some sort of light producing blue liquid, where would it be glowing? It would be, you know, there would be some blue here. There would be some here. All over here. It would be here. It would be glowing outside of the lines. Never. It would be here and here. Oh my goodness. And it would be down here too. I think this would probably be a little bit blue as well because it's reflecting off of this stuff. This whole thing would be glowing. This whole thing would be glowing. And all this too. Pew, pew, pew. Okay. I feel like it's about time to put on my glasses because I'm to the point where, like, I can't look at stuff. I was late on stream today. I don't know if I already talked about this, but I was late on stream today because I had to fill my eyes with this stuff. Because I just can't look at screens anymore. I do think I did talk about that, actually. Can't remember what I talk about, to be honest. I don't know nothing. All right, I'm also going to duplicate this layer and just kind of smudge it out in general. Just so it's not quite as harsh and blue. Like still blue, but not like bam. That's a thick ass blue line. So, I mean, it's supposed to be water, right? It should have like a soft flowing edge. Maybe. I don't know. What does water look like? What is it like? Mostly I wanted to smudge it out because of this section right here. It's like kind of weird. I'm gonna add some white highlights to all this water. I'm going to do that with HB pencil. more smudge. Just want to get those edges blended out. And you notice I took this like glowing layer off because I don't really like it, I think. I think I'll add the glow back in a different way. This one's not really working. So I'm just going to keep adding the white in and smudging it out. Smudgy smudge. Smudge, smudge, smudgy smudge. Am I on the right layer? I think I'm on the right layer. If I was on the wrong layer again, I think I would just leave it, to be honest. I'm like so tired that I can't be bothered to do things appropriately. Glow. Like I said, I'm gonna get rid of this layer. I don't like it. I'm going to start a new one with a different type of glowing. I am going to use the soft pastel maybe. Just a really small brush of it. And the smudge tool. I like this better already than the previous version that I was doing. I do want to put this back in though. I liked where this part was glowing on with the reflection of the other side. But I would like to clean it up. That's too much. I added way too much. Way too much. So there's another fun thing that you can do with Procreate and digital art in general. And it's playing with like how the layer interacts with other layers. And I would like to see what some of these other settings do for the glowing aspect. Soft light one isn't too bad. Actually, I really like the add version. Like normal is fine. Do you like normal? I really love a linear burn. But add I need my drawing guide back so I can do a parallel line. Okay, it does need some sort of background, and I think that rather than doing the edges being black, I think I'm gonna go with, well, I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try doing the center is the dark background area and just have the edges be brighter. Not sold. Not sold on it. First off, because of the weird pattern that it's made. But it is definitely missing some sort of dimensionality in the background area. And I wonder what that could be. Maybe just some simple, maybe a simple gradient like this, perhaps. Maybe I'll add some white in to see if I can kind of even it out a little bit. I like this idea better than having nothing in the background, though. But what I am not liking is this repetitive pattern from the brush, and I wonder if I change the spacing of the brush. What's the regular 12% spacing? I'm gonna put no spacing and see what happens. Well, for one, it's a tiny, tiny brush now. Don't know what that's about. I mean, the weird texture is gone, but the brush is tiny now. Why? I don't know what I've just done. I've just messed up my whole brush here. I'm gonna have to troubleshoot this later because that's strange. I don't know why it went teeny tiny. See, now it can be big again. I don't understand what the fuck happened. Let's try again. No spacing. It's just gonna be tiny. I know it is going to be just tiny. Why? Someone who understands Procreate, tell me why this happens when I take the spacing out of my brush. What's that about? Anyway, I like this idea, but I can't quite make it happen in the way that I want it to, because the brushes don't work in the way that I would like them to work. So maybe we'll just do the eraser version. See if there's the weirdness, the same kind of weird texture issues. It just looks really cloudy and bad. I'm not into this. I like the idea of it being a gradient, but the execution is not working out for me. And the cat is trying to escape. Ben, are you leaving? Come on. Go out. Go out if you're going. Stop chewing on the carpet. Go. 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 Get out. If you want out, leave. Okay, fine. Okay, so it doesn't want out, so we're just gonna Procreate can do a gradient fill, I think. Maybe it can't. But I don't want to do just a fill. I want to draw it because I'm stupid. I only want to use some of the tools that I'm given. Should I move the camera so you can see the kitten? It's Finn. It's Finn. That's not going to stay there. That's going to fall down in any moment now. And this also isn't going to stay here. It's going to run away in about 5 seconds. Goodbye. Okay, I'm going to try a different brush. Maybe I'll try the shading graphite brush, but this one's going to be super small too. And I'm not going to, that's white. I want black. No, it's going to be too streaky again. Oil pastel, perhaps? Maybe oil pastel. No, because there's a weird space in the middle now. I don't like it. What do I do when I don't like it? Oh man, the iPad's getting tired. Did you see how long it took for that to undo there? Everyone's tired right now. I am intrigued by how much this actually does look like oil pastel, though. Pretty crazy. All right, now if I want to be extra, and I usually do, I'm going to add some blue in and just see how it looks. It probably won't look very good because it never looks good. It never looks the way I want it to or the way I think it will when I add like glow. Never looks the way I want it to. But who knows? Maybe this time it won't. Oil pastel again, and I'm gonna just smear it out. Oh, this smudges really well. I actually think it works pretty well, but I want to erase in the middle where it's like inside the blade here, top of the blade. I think a little bit of the blue showing through is cool, but I want the sword to be mostly just gray. Blade. I don't know why I keep calling it a sword. It's not a fucking sword. It's just a blade. Is that done? Are we done? Oh yeah, it's actually much better with the blue in the back. Check out the difference. Yeah, the blue adds something extra that I like. So I'm going to keep the blue. And I think I'm going to say that's where it is, you know, for now. Maybe. It's a little messy. I will say it's a bit messier than usual. But also, I kind of feel terrible tonight. My entire body is just on fire. And that's where my brain is. My brain is just, again, like last week, is just ready for bed. My whole body just aches. Who knows why? Maybe I'm dying. Who knows? Come back next week and find out if I died. Yeah, a little messy, and as much as I want to leave it as it is and be like, oh, it's messy, I can't. I can't do that. I'm doing. Just kind of evening out the shadows, I guess. I feel like I lost some of the shadows at a certain point. I want them back. Am I close to done? This is like a super wonky line, and I do really want to straighten that out before I call it a night officially. So I'm just gonna straighten this out a bit and maybe take some of the white off because it's a little too bright and shiny, maybe. It's not meant to be a lightsaber, you know? It's just meant to be brighter. All right, I'm really nearing the end here, and I'm pretty happy with the result, ultimately. Fairly satisfied. What am I doing next week? I believe, since this was a history, I believe next week is a comedy. There we go. Henry IV, Part 1. Next week, I will be doing Twelfth Night, followed by Pericles, followed by Julius Caesar. But Twelfth Night is next week. So I think I'll be back on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday, the 16th. Right? Oh my gosh, it's already mid-Feb. I'll be back Thursday the 16th to work on Twelfth Night. Until then, I don't know, keep it nasty, I guess. Keep it super, super nasty. So nasty. The nastiest. Y'all, I shouldn't be allowed to stay up past 9. I just shouldn't be allowed. Ciao.